Well, people, it is finally here. The first official trailer for DC's The Flash movie starring Ezra Miller. It's finally coming out this summer, June 2023. This has been one of the most anticipated, long-awaited DC movies pretty much ever. I mean, this movie's gone on such a journey, and if you've been following the whole process, it's been a lot. I'm not gonna go super into depth to it right here, but finally this movie is coming. It is coming just a few months from now, and everything we have been hearing behind the scenes from Warner Brothers Discovery is that this is a dang good movie, supposedly one of the best DC movies ever, and just a great movie in general. So, putting all of the controversy with Ezra Miller aside, this is a movie I'm really excited for. And this trailer was amazing. I mean, this was a great trailer that really kind of coincides with these amazing reports about how good this movie supposedly is. And so this gets me really excited because the Flash movie has always been one that, don't really know a whole lot about it. And with just mainly everything we've been hearing about it has been the controversies, I've been a little concerned and I haven't been really super hyped for it. But this trailer, now this gets me hyped. There's just so much going on here. The story, the acting, the cameos, the action, the CGI, it all looks so good. And I'm so excited for this movie, and I hope you guys after this trailer are as well. And you can definitely let me know your thoughts on the trailer in the comments below. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's go ahead and break down the official trailer for The Flash. So we open up this almost 3-minute trailer where we opened up our last trailer. It was like a teaser trailer or something like that. Pretty sure it's the one that we got at DC Fandom, when DC Fandom was still a thing. So we open up on Barry Allen's house. And this is his house from when he was a child, because we know that he's going to be going to the night where his mother was murdered. So you have Barry racing in here as the Flash. We have a great new look at Ezra Miller in this new Flash suit. I've never been a really big fan of this suit from what we've seen in this movie. But what we do see in this trailer definitely makes me like it more than what we had seen in the past. So he's just standing right outside the house. And then you see the next day or the next morning, something like that. And it just does a little montage. We get to see what I'm assuming, I think that is, I can't tell if that's Ben Affleck's or Michael Keaton's Batman cowl, but clearly something has not gone down very well here. We saw that previously, but speaking of Ben Affleck, we get some great Batfleck action in this film. Here is Ben Affleck's Batman on his Bat bike, which we saw in set photos and set videos as well. So he's back in action. Oh, it's just so good to see him back. And Ezra Miller, surprisingly, again, the big controversy surrounding this film is due to Ezra Miller themselves, but Ezra Miller has always been seen as a great actor. I've always thought he was a pretty good actor. And these controversies, they kind of disregarded that. But seeing him again in this trailer, they really proved that they are a great actor. So I love these really sweet little tender moments like that. Here's a cool shot of the Flash in action. And I love the reasoning here because you have this voiceover from Michael Keaton's Batman, where basically he's talking about kind of the synopsis of this film is that Barry goes back in time, he saves his mother from dying that night, and he then gets taken to, actually no, that's the Flashpoint version. In this version, I believe he just goes to a different universe where his mother is alive. And so when Michael Keaton's Batman asks, out of all the universes, you came to this one, and why is it this universe that you want to save? And he just says, because this is the one where my mother is alive. So again, just the whole thing behind this movie is that at the center of it, that's his motivations, is his mother, and that's what always made the Flashpoint storyline work so well. So we get a great look here at young Barry and his mother, just hugging, having a good time, again, really anchoring you in on those feelings and that connection, that relationship between mother and son. And then here we have Billy Crudup playing the recast version of Henry Allen in this movie. You can see that Nora Allen is dead, or at least had just been stabbed by the Reverse Flash. We don't know if he's going to be involved here in any way or not. And then young Barry walking in on it and just seeing the horror of his dead mother on the ground, which is just such a thing to go through. I love the logos here for Warner Brothers and DC with the red and yellow. That looks great. And then we have young Barry running out of the house that night, and older Barry coming back to it. So this is where I'm probably he's looking through different universes, and this was one of the ones where he goes to, and he sees that, yeah, my mother died in this one as well. Until he eventually gets to the one where his mother is alive. And this was a really cool moment right here. You can tell he's like going through the kind of similar to what we saw in the Justice League movie when he would kind of freeze time or slow things down a bit. So that's cool to see that continue. He's just looking at photos of his family together. Just some really emotional moments. And then we have this shot that we saw in the previous trailer where he gets to a universe where his mother's alive. And you can tell how kind of in disbelief he is. Like, he has to touch her shoulder to make sure, like, is this real? Is my mother actually alive? And then we get a little bit of more explanation as to other things that we've seen from this movie. So there's going to be not one, but two Ezra Millers in this film. Two different Barry Allens. We're assuming one is our main one that we saw in the DCU previously in Justice League. And then the other one is the Barry Allen of Michael Keaton's Earth. So he runs into this one, and you can see, I love the interaction here of like, this one is like, oh, my face, you stole my face. And then just the face of our Barry is just so dead. Like, he almost looks like he's high, which I don't think he is, but it's just it's interesting, the facial expression he's making there. And then we go back to, again, what we saw previously, where they go to Wayne Manor to meet up with Bruce Wayne. And here's this really cool flashback where you have these two. I believe that's both Barry Allens. There's the lightning going between the two. Not really sure what that's about. But we also have the flash ring as well. So that's going to be really awesome to see finally brought into the film space with this. And another great shot of Ezra talking to Ben Affleck. So we got some Ben Affleck in here as well as Bruce Wayne. He looks great. Always good to see him back. There's a couple different shots of him. And then you can see Barry is in this new world, and General Zod has returned. So that's one of the big things, is that Barry, by doing what he does in this movie, he basically breaks the multiverse. He breaks the universe. And so in this universe now, General Zod is back. Michael Shannon is back. And so this is really cool. You can see our first look at him right there. It looks just like he did in Man of Steel. So that's going to be awesome to see. There's another shot of Barry in his suit. And then he basically says, I created a universe where metahumans do not exist. So there's no Superman, but instead there's Supergirl. So very similar to, again, the Flashpoint version of things, where in that universe there was a Superman, but he wasn't Superman because the government caught him and held him captive in this dark space. So he was super weak and powerless because he wasn't powered by the energy of the sun. So the same thing is happening here with Sasha Calle's Supergirl, Kara Zor-El. She's skinny and weak because she hasn't had exposure to the sun. And this, I'm not really sure who that is. I believe that's Barry touching somebody's hand. Is it Kara, or is that her mother? His mother, I'm not sure. Here's some really cool action shots. Barry lighting up the Batcave, and this is where we get Michael Keaton as Batman. You can just see these two flashes in disbelief. And I love how Michael Keaton says the line. He says, I'm Batman. It's not even in a cringy way either, where like it usually is done, where I'm Batman is usually used as a joke. In this version, it's used really well, where Barry is like, aren't you? And then he's like, yeah, I'm Batman. Oh, it was just so awesome to see. And then we get this really cool action sequence with him, with the wings and the glider thing going on, and then the Barry number 2 passes out and faints, so that was great to see. There's some more Batfleck on his bike. That looks awesome. Sasha Calle's Supergirl is flying up into the air, and then we have another great awesome shot of Ezra Miller as the Flash. Here's Michael Keaton in action again as Batman. This, I'm assuming, is a scene between our Barry and his mother. And this is another really cool action sequence where we know that the other Barry is going to suit up in a modified Michael Keaton Batman suit, but he's going to spray paint it red and make it look like a Flash suit. So we have two Flashes in here. I love how one of them has the yellow lightning and one of them has the blue. So that's a nice way to differentiate the two. And this right here is just a great shot. You got the two of them clicking their heels together, the power of the Speed Force. brought together, and that is just some really, really awesome shots here. You have one Barry convincing the other Barry to help him join this mission. This is actually in young Barry's bedroom, but I wouldn't be surprised if in this version, where with this Barry with the longer hair, with his mother being alive, I wouldn't be surprised if this is still his bedroom, if he never moved out, if he never got a life, because, you know, Barry's mother's death is such an integral part of his life that if that didn't happen, maybe he wouldn't have the motivation to go do anything. Maybe he'd just be a lazy bum that just stays at home and still lives with his mom. You never know. So I think that'd be a really interesting thing to play on as well. Here we have, I believe that's the Batwing up above, sending down the two flashes. Here we have our first look at Supergirl, Sasha Calle's Supergirl versus Michael Shannon's General Zod. That's great to see, some more action shots of the flashes. And there's the Batwing once again, Sasha Calle's Supergirl with the laser vision. That's a nice shot right there also. One of my favorite parts of this trailer, not only do we see Ben Affleck's Batman, but we see Batfleck in the blue suit. This is something I've always wanted to see, but he's got the blue suit. Now, I'm a little curious, though, because in all these other shots that we've seen of Ben Affleck's Batman in this trailer, he was on the bike. Now, it was kind of hard to tell there, but that did look like it was mostly a darker suit. So what if this is, instead of the Ben Affleck's Batman that we know, what if it's Ben Affleck's Batman from a different universe? And that's why he's wearing the blue. Just a little random throwaway theory right there. There's some more action shots as well. Great shot of Barry. Maybe that's him reacting to his mother's death again. And then I love the ending of the trailer. The ending of the trailer was hilarious, but also, again, helps you with that story where you see that they're trying to break out Supergirl, and Ezra is on the ground. Well, Barry is on the ground, and he's surrounded by all these soldiers that are ready to shoot at him. And I love how Barry's like, all right, so what's the plan, Batman? And Batman just says, don't die. And then he gives the signal. Supergirl flies up. She just takes all of them out because she's now got the power of the sun. And they're like, so who are you? I'm Kara. And then you could tell both of these are just like, whoa, lady. So clearly they're both attracted to her. And then it gets even funnier after they flash up the logo. And so we get these great shots here of the Batwing flying with both Barrys inside, and I'm assuming Michael Keaton's Batman as well, and Sasha Calle's Supergirl flying on the outside. And then you have Barry 2 taking a picture of Sasha Calle's Supergirl, and then our Barry saying like, Barry, what are you doing? I also love how he actually calls him Barry. Barry, what are you doing? And then this is like one of the funniest lines. He says, well, our kids are going to want to see this, you know, something like that. And so, of course, that's insinuating that, like, he has a crush on Sasha Calle's Supergirl, and he's like, I want to marry her, and, like, we're going to have kids. So that was just a really funny joke. I really enjoyed that. And so only in theaters, June 16th. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that right there is our first official trailer for DC's The Flash movie. That looked beautiful. I'm so excited for this. Again, we've heard so many great things about this film, but I've always been hesitant. But seeing this trailer, it really gives me hope that this is going to be an amazing film, and I'm so excited for this. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about the first official trailer for The Flash movie, and are you excited for it even more now that you have seen this trailer? So guys, thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.